Empire Speedway's Mega Modified Show. And this is the first time I've raced there in several years, probably 12, 13 years. I was really looking forward to getting up there and getting to race there because it's a track I really enjoy racing at. See here in the hot laps, we were horrible. Car was pushing so bad I could not get it to turn. By the end of the hot lap session, everybody on the track was piled up behind us because we were going so slow and nobody could get around me. So obviously we have a lot of work to do to get the car to where it will handle well enough to compete with the caliber of cars that are up here tonight. So there were 33 cars there for this night. It was their mega modified show. It paid $3,000 to win and $150 to start. We had the car going some better for qualifying, but it was still too tight. We ended up qualifying 20th fastest out of the 33 cars. So just like after the hot laps, we have some more work to do, and we'll see if we can get it going better for the heat race.
They both their way over to turn 4. They'll pick up the RPMs. Here we go.
Alright, so for the heat race, by qualifying 20th fastest, I started 4th place in the 5th heat race. And as the race went on, the car was decent, still a little bit too tight. As you can tell here, the car was so tight that I just about got into the wall. And unfortunately, this is not the closest I got to that spot of the wall. We'll see more about that here in a minute. We kind of got spread out. I was comfortably in 4th, which was the final transfer spot. Just a couple laps left, they had a caution. So we're restarting here in 4th place. And again, 4th place was the final transfer spot. Of course, you always want to try to move up as much as you can. Going into turn 3 and 4 here, I drive it off in there really hard and get beside the 3rd place car, and it picks up a push. So I have the bright idea that I can do the same thing in this end, and it'd stick and be good if I can get it to turn. And guess what? It didn't turn. I got into the wall. It'd been something in the front end, I didn't realize it at the time, went off in the next turn, spun out. I gotta say good job to the driver that was right behind me for avoiding me and not getting caught up in my spin out. Fortunately, there was only 5 cars that finished, so we got credited with 5th place. So we started in 5th place in the B main. After having the incident with the wall, we had a lot of repairs to make and not much time to do it. We didn't have time to make a lot of adjustment, but we made one pretty major one, just trying to get the car to turn better. And it made a pretty good difference in the car handling. We started 5th and worked our way up towards the front. I had a couple of cautions we had to deal with. It kind of took me a couple laps to get settled into a pretty good routine and good pattern, and after I kind of figured out what I needed to do with the car, with the change that we had made, I got to rolling around the bottom of the turns pretty good and making up some pretty good ground, and we start working our way forward. The voice you hear cheering me on in the background is my son-in-law Hunter, and it just so happened that on this particular night, Hunter and my daughter Elizabeth were the only 2 that were able to go with me. And with all the things that happened and all the adjustments we had to make on the car, I put them to work a lot that night, and I really appreciate that they were there and able to help me. I appreciate all the rest of my family and Jimmy that usually help me, but they weren't able to make it this night, so Elizabeth and Hunter were really a lifesaver and a big help. Those couple of caution flags and kind of got a chance to really get to rolling and run some green flag laps. As you can see, the car still had a push if I didn't get through the corner just like I needed to, but when I was in open track and able to turn and do what I needed to with the car, it was really a whole lot better than it had been the rest of the night. And once I got in the lead, I was able to pull away a little bit and just make some good clean laps and kind of get myself ready for the feature and kind of figure out what kind of laps I needed to turn and still adjust to the track. I mean, it had been so many years since I've been there. This is still me trying to learn what the car needs to do on this track and just kind of get reaccustomed to racing up there. It's a different type track, being kind of D-shaped like it is, but like I said earlier, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy racing there. So we were able to come up from 5th to a win in the B main, which is great. So now we head back to the pits. We do some adjusting for the feature. The track obviously is starting to dry out, and it'll dry out a lot more, I think, by the time our feature comes around. So we'll make some adjustments and see how the feature goes. restart was good, but on the second restart we get caught up in a little bit of a accident in front of us. He gets to keep going, and I'm the first one that stops, so I get charged for the caution and have to restart 24th anyway. After restarting in 24th, I was content just to ride a little bit, kind of go at my own pace, not try to rush things, stay out of trouble. So we have a good green flag run, and I'm kind of picking off cars as I get the opportunity. Myself up in about 15th, going into turn 4 after one of the restarts. The car in front of me spins out, but there's a car in between me and it, so I don't see it till the last second, so I get caught up in my second caution. I was running about 15th when the spin out happened, and I got caught up in it, and somehow I got restarted in 17th here, but I'm not really sure how that came about, but it's only one row, so I guess in the end of everything, it probably didn't make a big difference. Laps and trying to stay out of trouble, passing the cars when I get a chance to, but not pushing anything, not making any hard moves or trying to do anything too aggressive at this point, because There's been cautions. There's a traffic jam all around me, so don't want to cause a problem. And there is a near miss. A car spun out right in front of me, and I was able to see this one ahead of time and avoid it and get around them. You can see by the dust kicking up, the track is drying out pretty good at this point. I'm faster than the cars that were in front of me, and I tried to get up on the top and make a move, and ended up costing me a spot and costing me quite a bit of ground. So I found my way back down to the bottom and was content to just ride and wait for the guys in front of me to mess up, see if there's any more cautions, and just try to keep myself in a position to avoid those if there was any more. Maybe not entirely on the bottom, but for the most part. By this point in the feature, the handling of the car was starting to fade on us. We were gaining ground on the cars that are now in front of us, but by this point we're starting to lose ground to those same cars, and the cars behind us are catching us. We're down to the last lap here, and I was actually glad that it was winding down, because we were just going to go backwards from this point, I'm afraid. But we ended up with the 12th place finish, which we're happy with, considering it's been so long since we've raced it in Farmington. Good night overall, and I thank you all for watching this video.